Good afternoon from Shizuoka Stadium. Scotland versus Russia. On paper, it looks easy. Russia not quite at the big table of World Rugby. And Scotland, one of the old family of the Six Nations. They played the very first international. Scotland should win. But there is interest in this fixture, because Scotland must win with a bonus point to have any chance of qualifying from Pool A. And what is more, there is a subplot south of Japan. Typhoon Hagibis approaches, building in strength. What effect will the typhoon, it's been nicknamed Hurricane Haggis by the Travel in Scotland support, what influence will the typhoon have on the Rugby World Cup? As it is, Scotland must win. They are in the same pool as host nation Japan, who lead the way with 14 points. In second place, Ireland. Scotland have played one game fewer. They must win today with a bonus point. Good afternoon, Chris Patterson.
Good afternoon, Eddie. Yeah, it's a big fixture, isn't it, for both these teams. Russia want to finish on a high. They brought some real physical aspects to this Rugby World Cup. They've been impressive in a number of performances without getting a victory. They've never beaten a Tier 1 nation, and Scotland, well, they have it all to play for. Still 2 games to play, one obviously in the next few minutes and then another against the host nation on Sunday, so a lot to play for. Half-time scores against Russia, the games have been tight. They were 12-7 down against Japan. They were leading 6-5 against Samoa. A longer stretch, they were 21-0 down against Ireland, but this Russian side are proud, they're strong, and they take a bit of breaking down.
Vasily Artemyev, the fullback, leads the way for Russia. They will not be afraid to take on Scotland up front. They've got some gnarled forwards, lots of experience, lots of muscle.
Yeah, lots of muscle up front there, no more so than Gotazev, the tight head prop. He's a former professional wrestler. Selski Hooker is a dynamic player. Tall, rangy second rows in Elgin and Usakov, really important players for the Russians.
The outstanding Tagir Gadjev in the back row. Keep an eye on the number 7, ball carrier, destroyer.
Rummel Geisen continues at number 10 after his impressive show, especially with the boot against Ireland, Perov at 9.
And Vladimir Ostroushko in the centre. He's played a lot of 7s. He's running tries from distance in the 15-a-side game.
And skipper Artemyev, one of the stars of the show so far at fullback. Vasil Artemyev, 29 tries for his country. Davidov's a big attacking winger on the right-hand flank, Sozanov on the left.
And the replacements, they will all have their turn. It is likely that Russia will put them on early in the second half.
Princess Royal, Princess Anne, Scotland's patron here. She really enjoys her rugby, really enjoys following Scotland and giving her support. And it's a big afternoon for Scotland to see Gregor Townsend leading his troops off the bus. Darcy Graham, the only player who retained his position after the game against Samoa, an exciting young winner. W.P. Nell, he's on the bench this afternoon. He's an old, experienced campaigner. Peter Horn gets his first start at number 12.
Gregor Townsend has run the changes. It's all change in the front row. Gordon Reid. George Turner comes in at hooker. Scott Cummings, the youngster, in the second row. Ben Toulis, born in Brisbane, Australia.
A very experienced back row. Ryan Wilson at number 8. Fraser Brown, normally a hooker, but really good number 7. And John Barclay, a skipper, at number 6.
George Horn, his brother Peter, will play in the centre. Adam Hastings, son of Gavin, at 10.
Yes, Peter Horn, maybe a playmaker at number 12. Duncan Taylor, an impressive defender, attacker. He's got a great all-round game, and there's pace and power and height at fullback. And Blair Kinghorn, the 2 wings, and experienced Tommy Seymour, and the electric Darcy Graham.
It'll be interesting to see how Scotland bring the changes. It's basically very different. Scotland perhaps daring to look ahead at next Sunday's game against Japan in Yokohama.
Well, they're only 4 days apart. They obviously have to have half an eye on that game, but that game means nothing unless you do your job properly and do it well this afternoon. It's really important for Scotland to get off to a good start. But you know that's going to be tough. Russians scored the first try of this tournament, the only try Russia scored so far in the opening game against Japan, and they will pose a threat.
Saltire out in force. The kilt has taken Shizuoka by storm.
It's a tad warm for a kilt in Shizuoka, I can tell you that, Eddie. Great to see the travelling support and the local school kids as well.
Change of referee late on. Mathieu Reynal falling ill. Wayne Barnes goes from being assistant referee to the man in the middle. Vasily Artemyev speaks good English. Spent time in Dublin. John Barclay, well, he speaks Scottish.
The coin toss gets me every time. Every time. Wayne Barnes letting John Bartlett know which way the sun was going to be facing, as John was trying to buy himself time to figure out which way to attack. Russia won the kick-off. They opted to take the kick, won the coin toss, sorry, and opted to take the kick. John Bartlett wondering which way the sun was pointing. Maybe doesn't see it all that often in Scotland.
The tartan is out in Shizuoka. It's worth just reiterating how important this game is for Scotland. They got off to a poor start in the World Cup, losing to Ireland. They regathered themselves with a bonus point win over Samoa. They had 2 games left. Must win today with a bonus point and a must win against Japan. The Russians, meanwhile, they have nothing to play for. They have lost their 3 games, but in a way they have everything to play for because the pressure is off. It's a chance to make a statement about Russian rugby in general.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be looking to do that. They're a proud nation, they're a brave nation, physically very big. They've missed an average 38 tackles, which will hurt the Russians. Their defence will have to be shorn up. They've only scored 1 try, so they'll have to, add bits to their game in order to threaten Scotland. In the Scotland dressing room, well, I believe that'll have to start off being calm. They have to be focused, determined, but calm.
Look at the doorway there. Dr. James Robson with the yellow bib on. He's seen so much rugby in his time. He's patched up so many players in his time. I wonder if he's just got half a thought on how busy he'll be sorting out what these players get up to in the next 80 minutes.
Yeah, he's one of the world's best. Absolutely, Dr. James Robson. See John Barclay, the captain there, laying down the law and underlining what has to go right for Scotland. He'll be disappointed with his opening performance against Ireland. He'll have a personal point to prove as well ahead of the final game on Sunday.
Here we go. Players getting ready. It's worth also pointing out that Scotland so tiny compared with Russia. I was just looking at the distances between Krasnoyarsk in Siberia, which is one of the rugby hotspots of Russia, and Krasnodar down in the south of the country. It's 3,000 miles by road.
It's a long away trip.
Vasily Artemyev leads the way down the corridor. Russia's last game at the World Cup. They cannot qualify for the quarterfinals. Scotland can, but they must win well. John Barclay leads the way. As usual, the teams meet at the entrance. A glimpse to see how big is my opposite number. The taiko drums welcome the players to Shizuoka Stadium. of the 8 that will go into the knockout stages. Russia's farewell game. Scotland have 2 left. Fife and drums, very much part of Scottish tradition. It's stirring stuff. Russia and Japan stand between Scotland and the quarterfinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthems of Russia and Scotland.
ロシア国歌、スコットランド国歌の演奏です。
Long shadows over Shizuoka Stadium. Lynn Jones, coach of the Russian team. Lynn from Wales. Gregor Townsend, very much a Scotsman in charge of the Scottish rugby team. I don't think John Barclay, the Scottish captain, will have to worry too much about the sun.
No. The shadows, isn't it? The sun's just dropping behind the stadium here in Shizuoka. You see the Russians, well, they've got a settled side, obviously the 3rd game, and most of these guys have played in all of those 3 games, or part of those 3 games. Changes for Scotland, 14 of them, and that could be one of the challenges. Russia will be focusing on the number of players for Scotland who haven't played a lot in the Rugby World Cup so far, and they'll be looking for a fast start, using the battle-hardened experience they've picked up over the 3 weeks. And John Bartley, well, he leads the side full of 14 changes. Scotland will looking to start well, using the freshness that they have.
Scott Cummings with the light blue scrum cap on. Just 22 years old, 7th cap. High tension for all these Scottish players.
There's George Turner, the hooker. There's 2 hookers on the field really for Scotland. Fraser Brown at number 7. That's Elgin in the second row. Evgeny Elgin for Russia. He'll be looking to put pressure on the hookers. John Barclay's looking to lead.
Today's referee, Wayne Barnes of England, taking charge of this all-important game for Scotland in Pool A. Their 3rd outing at the Rugby World Cup. This afternoon in Shizuoka, they play Russia, and we're underway. Ranil Gaisin starts the game. Ryan Wilson, Scotland's number 8. George Horn at scrum half for Scotland. Keeps it on the park. Vasily Artemyev, his first touch. There goes the back rowers of Russia. They'll be very involved. Scrum half. Dmitry Perov.
Tackle!
Perov again. Oh, that's good tackling on Gadjev. Gaisin high towards Darcy Graham. That's very well played. It's the big second row. Evgeny Elgin, who picks up the scraps. Good chase of the kick by Russian. Gaisin goes long. Gadjev inside. It's good defending. Valery Morozov can't make any ground.
Not now, not now.
Nikita Vavilin has to go in, do some clearing work. But Russia still in charge. They have started brightly. Gadjev again.
And away you come, off the ball.
So a little bit deeper this time, a little bit further across the field. German Davidov. And outside, Andrei Ostrikov. Elgin lets it go. It can be quite dangerous, the bouncing ball. Scotland came up fast in defence. John Barclay.
Don't go over the top.
Leading the charge. The drive up by Ostroushko. The centre. Vitaly Zhivatov. Slightly scrappy, but Russia plenty of possession in this opening period. Another tester. That's very well taken. Adam Hastings. It's therefore George Horn. Ben Toulis drives on.
And use it.
Ryan Wilson tackled by Ostrikov. Hastings hasn't gone very far, but Tommy Seymour might be able to catch it, as he does. Duncan Taylor, 13 in support. The charge up. Cummings came from a long way and deep and took it running hard. Hastings, a chance now. Peter Horn, Blair Kinghorn, Fraser Brown, Darcy Graham. George Horn through props and outside halves and fullback Kinghorn. Adam Hastings goes to the right. Just slowed down a little bit, so he goes back to Ben Toulis. Now a bit scrappy. George Horn has to recover quickly. He does. Adam Hastings. Toulis again. Scotland's turn to bounce the ball along the deck. Pete Horn tidies up, but slowed down again. Long ball. Fraser Brown.
He let go and got back up. All fine.
It's a very good flick-on pass, and George Turner, the hooker, came onto it well. Hastings, Duncan Taylor, end over end, into the Russian 22. Dyson was back. But he is collared.
No, he's okay. He just...
Oh, the little outside half has done well there. Kept away from the touchline, kept the ball alive. Non-stop here in Shizuoka.
Wow, 4 minutes 40 non-stop rugby. Massive, massive effort from both sides. Huge defensive element from Scotland to start with. Then it was the Russians' turn. Just under 5 minutes of continual rugby. And it concludes with a penalty to Russia.
Well, we're well versed with seeing some unique sporting occasions here for the Rugby World Cup 2019. This is no different. 17,000 school kids in the stadium, and they've just been treated to more rugby in 5 minutes than we're used to seeing. That is outstanding commitment from both teams, really trying and prying. Good accuracy all round and some lovely touches from the big man up front.
Just thinking of the life of a forward. You look forward to a few set pieces just to collect your breath. But no, we're underway again. Scotland steal line-up possession. Pete Horn. Good support from John Barclay. George Horn, brother. Oh, and the bouncing ball, it seems to be a theme of the day. That's well played. Adam Hastings sorts out the rubbish and turns it into a kick into the Russian 22.
Yeah, good play by the number 10. Wasn't in realising that once the ball hit the ground, Scotland had lost momentum. This is a turnover from the line-out. Ventulis getting up just in front of Ostrikov to win the turnover. So Zhadev, so at the tail of the line-out to win the turnover. And then from there, Scotland again looking to keep the ball in hand initially. And when it slowed down, Hastings quite sensibly put it in behind.
It's a game of massive bulk out there, but it's also a game of fingertips. Russia try again at the line-out. That's better from Andrei Ostrikov. Look at Stanislav Selski finding him.
Okay, off his feet now.
Berov, scrum half. Kept it on the field. Tommy Seymour, Adam Hastings there. Scotland have lots of players ready to run. Darcy Graham, Duncan Taylor with him. Graham beats one man, then spills it. It could be one of those afternoons.
Okay, lost forward, scrum, red ball.
Well, I was going to say, really good counter-attack initially from Scotland, getting numbers back, working hard off the ball, and then Darcy Graham was so elusive with the ball. Once you escape the tackle, but then the second tackle coming in there, knocking the ball from the grasp. You can see the anguish in the face as he turns over. Good defensive effort from Russians. And it's time for everybody to take a breath before the scrum.
Fingertips again.
Yeah, that would be great. Keep your foot forward until set. Okay, let's go then.
Asimov with it, the number 12 with the tackle. The all-important tackle after Graham was just wriggled in behind that defensive line.
Slowly.
The overhead spider cam.
Crouch.
See what pressures, how all this changes.
Set.
From straight to crooked, oh, immediately crooked and down, and Wayne Barnes doesn't like it at all. Free kick to Russia. Promising. Centre Ostroushko.
Hold forwards. Yeah.
Blair Kinghorn.
Bring them on, please.
Back for Scotland. Thumps it straight down the middle of the pitch. Ranil Gysin.
Bring them.
Flatter, lower, down to the other 22.
Okay now. That looks similar to yours.
Lower, flatter, still from Adam Hastings.
Mark that, please.
He doesn't want that to go any further than that.
22.
Just. Like everybody's relieved all round. I think initially Adam Hastings would be relieved because he thought I was maybe going to bounce too far and go dead. And then Artemiev was relieved that it did eventually cross the line so he could dot it
Bit
down.
more control.
Intriguing battle already on the wings, specifically. Two players well versed with attacking wide open space. Stars in the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series. I'm sure they're going to feature properly. Just keep this ball in field. It's going to be a great game.
No score yet. But we've had one stoppage for a penalty. A couple of line-outs. But really the ball has been in play, and that is ready-made for Darcy Graham. Here he goes again, up to
Off your feet now.
Russia's 10-metre line. George Turner, the hooker. Hastings, Barkley, quick hands to Cummings. Adam Hastings. Pete Horn runs the angle. John Barkley sweeps it on quickly. Fraser Brown. The hooker at home in the back row. Hastings again. Taylor misses out. Ryan Wilson. Darcy Graham involved again.
Advantage, okay? High tackle advantage.
Is a high tackle advantage. That's very well played by George Turner. The kick not coming off.
Initial one, high tackle.
Tagir Gadjev picks up the ball, but will go back to the original penalty.
Yeah, it's Gerasimov at the very start of that attack there. I think there's a call came in from the TMO just in terms of high tackle on Darcy Graham as you run back the 22. It wasn't a malicious
I thought
high tackle.
Just chase his feet a bit too much.
It was just
We got the high tackle just on you again.
Gerasimov just he actually pulled out as quickly as he could actually, but he'd already made contact quite high with Darcy Graham as he wriggled to try and free himself from the tackle. They come back for the penalty.
And Lynn Jones speaking before the game about discipline. So there's no malice
Really nice
or
discipline
intent
on the
of when the
first
Russians
one.
do have indiscretions, but clearly with 3 yellow cards already in this tournament, they've got to be really careful of these types of tackle. It's just clumsy, a little bit lazy. Darcy Graham's always going to have lots of agility and movement, and you've got to set yourself much, much lower.
In we come, Scotland.
Dmitry Gerasimov penalised. George Turner throws. Ryan Wilson goes high. Turner on the ball now. Scored a hat-trick from that position. Can't this time. Oh, Peter Horn. There's a lot of bobbling balls, and there's another one from Darcy Graham. Vladislav Sozonov.
Yeah, he was fine. First one, knocked
Was
on.
in field.
He was on his feet.
Yeah, it's certainly an energetic start, isn't it, to both sides. Scotland really trying to play a set-piece play. Just as soon as that ball gets bobbled and it's not quite accurate enough, it allows the defence to keep coming forward. It's a good tackle from Ostrusko on Darcy Graham, but that's 2 handling errors from the left winger so far in promising positions, and that'll frustrate Scotland. They've shown periods of retaining possession really well.
I know you want to get that engagement, but it's not too much, right?
Just a word from Liam Barnes that Hooker George Turner about the engagement with the scrum. I heard him talk about Gordon Reid earlier on as well, so hopefully get that issue cleared up here. But yeah, 1 or 2 periods of retaining possession, but Scotland there when they have looked and threatened,
Okay,
turns the
scrum.
ball over.
Red ball.
And one man in particular that want the ball to get as much as possible for the Russians is Ostrusko. He really is the spearhead of their attack, and you can see by his shot in defence, he's not too bad at that either. He is a wonderful rugby player.
He did really well to read that situation there. There was space outside him, but
Control
he
on
didn't
the
sell
engagement,
himself
please,
in terms of
Scotland.
coming too far forward. He read the play and then made a big tackle, force a turnover.
Big day for Vladimir Ostrusko. 50th cap.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Keep the height.
Scotland get a little squeeze on Russia. Go backwards. Good work from the tight forwards around the back row. John Barkley. The world within a world.
It means a lot to them, doesn't it?
Just lost forward at 8 as he tried to pick it up. Scrum.
Massive effort. You can see the height of the blue jerseys initially were a little bit lower than the red, and then the power came through, forcing the red jerseys up higher, popping them up. And it's a knock-on at the tail of the back of the scrum.
Just a really nice, good competition.
Number 8, Nikita Varilin, tried to
Better
put a
engagement.
big hand
Controlled on
right to the
engagement.
front of the scrummage.
Good height. Yeah.
This is another opportunity. If the scrum's stable from Scotland's point of view, they can attack both sides. You've got the centre field scrum,
Patience.
and they've got 2. They've got number 10 and 15 just straight in behind there. You can see Adam Hastings and Blair Kinghorn straight behind the scrum. So depending on how the scrum grows, they will make that will force a decision whether to attack right or left. and expect a lot of movement off the ball.
George Horn to feed the scrimmage. Good from Scotland, doesn't move much. Ryan Wilson to Horn. Adam Hastings, little dummy, little go. First try! Just what Scotland need. Within the first quarter of an hour, try number 1. They need 4 for the bonus point.
Yeah, good set piece attack, wasn't it? Well done, Adam Hastings. Reading the situation really, really well. A solid scrum from Scotland. Picked up by Ryan Wilson, and then it was all down to Adam Hastings. We mentioned the movement of the ball. You can see the players working hard. Duncan Taylor coming short, and then Adam Hastings sensing the space ahead of him and ghosting through it, throwing the dummy, getting inside Sozanov and over through Gerasimov's tackle for Scotland's first try.
I've just got a really nice contest. It's a good height. They're both fighting to stay
Sozanov took the dummy.
So far.
And the Russian defence, it was Gerasimov who couldn't get back in time. 1 down, 3 more to go.
Yeah, an individual try scored by Adam Hastings, but a good team try in terms of the stability, control and strength of the scrum, and then the work rate and effort off the ball to confuse the defence as Hastings chips over that.
A little bit higher with the arm.
2 points for Adam Hastings to add to his 5. 7 for the outside half. Duncan Taylor running the good inside line. Gap opening up for the number 10. Adam Hastings 7. All of Russia 0. Emil Gaisin restarts. Ryan Wilson tackled well by German Davidov.
And use it! Take him back.
Well taken. Artemiev sets off on a run. Advantage.
You're in the way, though. You have affected his ball.
Interfering on the ground.
You've affected the ball. Must come round back onside.
Yeah, I think it was Fraser Brown, the number 7, who was penalised. He actually made a really good tackle on Artemiev as Artemiev looked at counter-attack. And then, before he got himself back inside, he tried to pop to his feet and interfere with the ball, and he was penalised.
And it tends to be the way that the Russian teams try and get those influential players in. Artemiev is one of them, a real stalwart of the team. Davidov started well, number 14.
On your front, man.
These players really have to come to the fore. Almost played every single minute of the tournament, and it's for a reason.
Stanislav Selski spins the ball and now puts the rifle effect on it to spin it torpedo style through the air. Good ball for the backs to come. Davidov is off his wing. Duncan Taylor back with the tackle. It's gone forward.
Advantage Scotland, knock off.
Advantage Scotland. They could break out from their own 22 here. George Horn. Darcy Graham. Oh, that's an excellent tackle by Gadzhiev. Fraser Brown, though, able to continue the attack. Hastings.
All good.
High towards Sozanov. No, it's Artemiev. Blair Kinghorn with a good follow-up tackle.
And use it!
And the referee says use it. It has to be used within 5 seconds. Russia with a chance to break out. Gadzhiev to Davidov. Ostaroushko outside him. It's a knock-on advantage. Scotland back in possession. This game characterised already by a whole series of episodes in open play. Adam Hastings beats Gadzhiev. Artemiev misses it. Hastings in for his second try. And his personal tally goes up to 12 already. Wayne Barnes is checking. Or is he?
I don't think so. He may have a look at it. This is a tackle from Peter Horn on Davidoff that frees the ball dancing game in as well. Scotland do really well to keep this ball in play, and Aaron Hastings goes right first, then he comes left. This is after a long piece of play, and it's great recognition of the space in behind. It becomes a foot race between Hastings and Gajev. Hastings wins it. Artemiev looks like he's going to win the second foot race. He overruns the ball, and Hastings ducks down for his second try.
Vasily Artemiev just loses his footing 3-4 times. Adam Hastings pounces for Scotland's second try. Halfway to the bonus point.
Well, it's good play by Adam Hastings. It was initially a really good line-out attack from Russia, deep in Scotland's 22. The error came, and then Fraser Brown had a wonderful long pass that set the counter-attack in motion.
All 14 points scored by Adam Hastings.
And that's exactly what the fly half wants. Brimming with confidence, spots it from miles away. Artemiev, you've got to give him the moral victory getting back, but just overcooks it. He came from absolutely miles away on the right-hand side. Went into top gear, but look at the elation on Hastings' face. That's a great shot.
Yeah, the key to that was scanning for the space in behind the front line. And Artemiev, as hard as he worked, he was unfortunate not to get to the ball. Hastings, an excellent score.
Same old pattern. Geisen to Ryan Wilson, and the number 8 makes ground up to the 22. George Horn for Darcy Graham to chase. It's gone forward of Dimitri Perov.
He's lost forward into your own man. Not forward by 9. Not you. You're all right.
Yeah, just good kick fight. George Horn, just the perfect length in order to make it a contestable kick, and the ball's knocked forward under the pressure. And Scotland then
last scrum, brilliant.
have another opportunity to launch from the scrum. It's a perfect start. It's exactly what they'd have been looking for, getting early points against the Russians, who have been a tough nut to crack in this Rugby World Cup.
Thank you. Slowly. Crouch. Bind. Set.
George Horn waits for the signal from George Turner that he's ready to strike for the ball. The hooker has to strike. Oh, that's a good surge by Pete Horn. Puts the forwards onto the front foot, and they include Ben Toulis. Quick ball back to Hastings, who shaped the kick and then decided to run through Pete Horn. Duncan Taylor, good hands, not such a good pass. Hastings had all the time in the world for that top skin kick.
Please.
It's going to be close. Which side of the corner flag? That could be brilliant.
But it's your day, it's your day. Well done, Adam Hastings, again identifying the space in behind Davidoff. He got a little bit fortunate because there was a lot of spin on that ball, but it just bobbled the right side.
You give space, Scotland.
Of the corner flag there, and Russia will be floating the line out very close to their own line.
Don't close it! Scotland at the front!
Peter Horn did well there as well, not only the carry off the scrum, but he got back to his feet in order to get the second ball back of Hastings on the short side. Good work, mate.
Quickly delivered from Evgeny Elgin, but has the try been awarded? It has.
He's not offside. He's nowhere near being offside.
George Horn,
he's nowhere near being
he
offside.
breaks the Adam Hastings monopoly.
It's just a pass.
Wayne Barnes explains to Stanislav Selski what happens here. It goes down, it's intercepted. Well read, George Horn.
Yeah, that looks like a try wonderfully taken by George Horn, but it looks like it's part of the hours spent in analysis of the players and coaches looking ahead. The throw was to the front of the line out, the pass was going to be long, and George Horn was just perched at the back of the line out in his defensive position, not in the channel, or not towards the 5-metre channel, off the tail, so you could just see that pass all the way and got down. Really clever piece of play by the scrum half.
Last run really solid, my side. A really nice platform. Yeah, great. Thanks, Warren.
Three quick-fire tries by Scotland. Adam Hastings with his 3rd conversion. Scotland lead by 21 points to nil.
That's silly, just so you
It
know.
was good there, nothing wrong, but George Horn read it brilliantly.
Well, Northern Hemisphere scrum-halves really are setting new precedents for being quick fire off the line. And it's a really good game plan by the Scots so far. Barely playing territory, only spending 10% of their time in the Russian quarter, but just being so ruthless with their opportunity, and running meters are high as well.
Backwards, play on.
Darcy Graham picks up the tap down from Scott Cummings. John Bartley edges Scotland away from their 22. George Horn's kicked a lot into this box here. Davidov can't take
Not
it.
gone into touch, it's up to them. Ball is live, ball's live.
That's another accurate box kick from little George Horn. Davidov's having to come forward quite a long way onto it.
Scrum option.
He's struggled with one or two already, the big winger. So Scotland keep plugging away at that tactic.
Big Ben Toulis.
For the offside, just so you're aware. TMO said fine. Okay. Oh, wow.
There's Wayne Barnes just telling Stanislav Selski, the hooker, who
same
challenged the call in the George Horn try. He was just saying,
it's
the team was
stable,
had a look
but
at it. It was on side.
yours is really good.
Whatever.
That's all I'm
Good
saying.
management from Wayne Barnes.
Say again? Okay, just a little left. You just go. Thank you.
Lovely little look into the tunnel. It's a dark tunnel in there.
Bind. Set.
There's the strike from George Turner.
Okay,
It's
use
Ryan
it.
Wilson is going to work with this scrum half. Pete Horn runs hard and straight and makes yards.
Tackle as he
Again,
lifted. Tackle as he
the
lifted.
bouncing ball gives Adam Hastings. Well, I think that's his first mistake.
Yeah.
Straight out.
It was. It came obviously along the ground again. There was pressure on Horn at scrum half. And then he was just had to force on his left foot as the replacements look on. Greg Laidlaw, Finn Russell, Stuart Hogg. These guys have got a potential game in 4 days' time. There is a game for Scotland against 4 days' time. Who will play, we don't know. But they're going to have to. Gregor Townsend mentioned the squad and the squad depth and how important the two games were so close together. So the squad will become really important.
You can just start to relax. Not totally. Scotland have 3 tries already, but it's a good working of a gap. And the big forwards. Ostrikov started it. Here he goes again, involved again.
Off your feet now, let go. Good work.
Zhivatov helped clear the ball. This is Gotovtsev. Oh,
Off
and
your own man's
suddenly
foot.
that's where it all goes wrong for Russia. They do so much so well, and the next thing, they're all herring back into their 22, having spilt the ball.
Yeah, it's punishing, isn't it, for the Russians? There's maybe an opportunity there for Peter Horn to feed his younger brother on the left-hand side, but opted to kick long. It's an accurate kick, and it keeps applying pressure in that corner.
And it is just turning the screw. The pressure's all about Scotland taking the opportunities, putting the ball down when they need to. It's been outstanding in their execution so far in this game, and it's no easy prospect. Russia usually start games very well, albeit they end up conceding a fair few points. At half-time, they're normally not far off. This has been really good for Scotland.
Entered as he throws. Comes 15.
Russia do well to Gadzhiev, and then lead again through Ostrikov. One of the players, Club Rugby in France with Grenoble. Darcy Graham gets the ball back into play quickly to Adam Hastings. Blair Kinghorn cuts back, goes the other way. Finds Graham again. Scotland would like the game to be broken up.
Yes.
Chances for Kinghorn, Graham, Tommy Seymour. It's all come the sort of the way of the left wing, Darcy Graham. Tommy Seymour waits his chance. They go left again. Do you think that's off the analysis, Chris?
Well,
Thank you, Ed.
It maybe was, because it's Davidoff who's sort of trying to decide whether it's ball in behind them or ball in the air. And it's certainly something that Adam Hastings is targeting that corner. So Russia already missed 9 tackles, but most of the pressure's coming through that kicking game. And Hastings finding that corner. 1 or 2 early ones went to the right for Tommy Seymour, but it seems to be this bottom left corner for Scotland that they're really targeting.
Evgeny Elgin. Russia very deliberately don't let Dmitry Perov have it like last time. Oh, Darcy Graham rose high, let it go. Away comes Nakita Ravilin. Good work. Oh, yeah, keeping the ball alive through the back row. Ravilin involved and Zhivatov. Geisin looks for space behind Blair Kinghorn, who read it very well. Hastings towards Davidoff again, well taken by the big number 14. Sets off after his own kick, barging Pete Horn out the way as he goes. Hastings again, tried the ghost through the gap. Scott Cummings picks up. Good hands, Fraser Brown, because that bouncing ball picked up by Duncan Taylor. Scotland happy to keep the ball alive. Scott Cummings this time. Injury to Osroushko means there's more space in this left-hand side. How Scotland have kicked well into that space.
Yeah, it's the same thing again, this bottom corner, but it's coming after Scotland. They're really putting a lot of pressure on Russia. Russia are having to make a lot of tackles, and they're having to cover a lot of ground as well. And eventually, once you draw those backfield defenders up to make those extra tackles, that's where the space is in behind. Peter Horn this side, getting the ball away with his left foot and an excellent kick. Duncan Taylor made a really good defensive read earlier on in that phase. It shut down a possible attack for Russia. But that kicking game is really important for Scotland, and it keeps the pressure on Russia.
Hold on.
It's just taking away the energy of this Russian team, not used to playing this standard, and certainly not at this pace. It's been a remarkable start. This 30 minutes running meters will be severely high, and that's going to take a toll later on in the game.
Jamie Ritchie comes on, and Fraser Brown comes off. That looks tactical, Chris.
Yeah, and Fraser Brown, it looks fresh enough, doesn't he? It's a big impact so far. Magnus Bradbury comes on, big ball carrier in his own right.
Sorry, Magnus Bradbury, not Jamie Ritchie.
Cross the line. Scotland. Whoever landed across the line.
Yeah, it's Magnus Bradbury there. Big ball carrier, impressive performance last time out against Samoa. And Scotland penalised there for jumping across the line out. If they jump straight up to contest possession, if you jump across the lane and interfere with the opposition, you'll be penalised. And that's a good kick from Guyson. Really relieve the pressure for the first time in a long time. It's just lifted. It's Ryan Wilson who's lifted across the line, and not a huge amount in it there. You can see he's been forced across the plane into the Russian side. It's a narrow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15.
3 penalties conceded by Scotland. It's gone wrong again. Here come the blue shirts, Duncan Taylor, Kinghorn. They go the other way via the bouncing ball. Plenty of those in this first half. George Horn. A change of target. They go to that right-hand corner. Vladislav Sozonov did very well then, because he was under extreme pressure. Ostrikov makes himself available just to improve the angle for Perov. Scotland had a little grab at the scrum half. Ramil Geisin gets the kick away.
Well, he gets a kick away under a lot of pressure, and he gets it away well, but Sozonov has just done a remarkable job here. George Horn hits a top spin ball over the top, and then it's actually 3-on-1 here. Sozonov keeps the ball in play, and then he gets away, well, roughly away from Tommy Seymour, who makes tackle. Then you've got Magnus Bradbury, and he did really well to win that position. George Turner came in as well afterwards. Good play by the left winger.
You see the expression on
Who's
Alex
it? Who's not,
Ruiz,
fellas? Who's
the
it?
assistant
Hold
referee,
it. In you come then.
eagle-eyed on the touchline. George Turner throws. Ryan Wilson wins. Turner joins last.
Seven,
up.
back you go.
Tagir Gadjev is in the way. George Turner
Still players
pauses.
from both teams.
Patience by Scotland.
Okay, yes, please.
George Horn takes over. A little bit of obstruction in front of the ball carrier, Pete Horn.
Better defence again from Russia with the driving maul. Yeah, they conceded a few yards, but they made it difficult for Scotland. And when the ball came out, it's Peter Horn at first receiver this time, who skipped through the first challenge, but knocked on just under the pressure of Zhivatov. Better from Russia.
Okay then, scrum. Red ball.
Yeah, Pete Horn just slipped out of his grasp.
He's been busy, Peter Horn. He's been carried one or two occasions early on. His kicking game's been impressive. He's using distribution skills. He'll be frustrated with that knock on. But
Same patience on red ball. Okay, same patience on red ball.
Gordon Reid, George Turner,
Shoulders one,
Xander
both ones.
Ferguson,
Thank
3
you.
for Scotland.
Crouch.
Scrum caps all the way across the Scottish front row.
Bind. Set.
It's gone down.
So first time I come around here, it goes down this side. So you come up then. We keep the foot forward. Keep it forward this time, please.
Kirill
Just come up.
Kotovtsev
Just
wears
need you both
3
high.
for
Both
Russia.
high.
Stanislav Selski, the hooker in the middle. Valery Morozov on the far
Crouch.
side. It's Kotovtsev
Bind.
wearing 3.
Set.
He will get most of the pressure
Good.
coming in
Keep the
on
good
him.
height.
He's done very
Right
well,
line.
the tight head there. Dicey keeps it on the field of play. Blair Kinghorn picks the ball out of
No
the
tackle.
air, sets off. Toulis hands it on to Xander Ferguson. Hastings pauses and then gives the pass that Pete Horn can't quite take, but it's gone backwards and then
But kicked
forwards.
into his own man, just accidentally offside.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit untidy, isn't it? Good counter-attack ball there. Wonderful pick-up from Geisen off his
Okay, got some
bootlaces.
box
And then
down.
Blair Kinghorn tried to spark the counter-attack. There was space to attack, but it became a little bit clumsy after that. There's Fraser Brown on the bench. He's spent 30 minutes on the field starting number 7. And it looks as if it's tactical substitution. He doesn't look injured. Now, he's an important player for Scotland. He's got a smile on his face. Whether he plays in the hook and roll or the number 7 role, who knows? But with a game in 4 days' time, there may be a tactical element to that.
Here's Adam Hastings just pausing, tries the power, that's all right, and then it goes off. Gordon Reid back into Adam Hastings. There's no forward knock on there, but now it's kicked.
Everyone
One
all right?
blue boot into a blue shirt.
It's scruffy for Scotland, and that'll frustrate them because
All good?
the opening
Okay, scrum, Russian.
25 minutes were excellent, really clinical. Since then, they've almost to try and force the break
Oh, it's great.
or force the opening a little bit. And you all know that you have to go forward first to really stress the defence before you move it wide or try and offload too often.
Very interesting psychology at this point here. And going back to the changes made, 14 changes for Scotland mean that these players really want to step up. They want to impress. They've not played as much as they'd like to. So with that, they're really going to try and keep this momentum going. Clearly, we've had a bit of a lull. We get 3 tries after 22 minutes, and then it really starts to oscillate a little bit. It's about them getting control of this game and getting the tempo under control once more.
Watch on, please.
Beyond these forwards at the scrummage, there is a change in the Russian three-quarter line. Vladimir Ostroushko, their playmaker in midfield, has gone off, replaced by Yuri Kushnarev, who is Russia's most capped player and also their highest scorer.
Yes, please. Use it.
It's a head injury assessment for Ostroushko. Change of direction. Scotland read it well. Gerasimov took sort of man and ball there. They still go on though. Ostrikov has done some heavy carrying.
Two big tackles in quick succession from Duncan Taylor for Scotland.
Gerasimov again. This is the first touch for Kushnarev. 112th cap. Kinghorn. To Tommy Seymour, who amongst all the open play and attacking adventure hasn't seen too much of the ball. A little change
That is ground.
of kick.
Nothing clear.
Oh, that's done. Adam Hastings just couldn't manufacture
Ball
the
is
final
wide.
kick. I think he's all right.
I think he's okay, yeah. He's been busy, hasn't he? 2 tries,
Not now.
3 conversions. Chip and a chase there, regathered it. He's just so aware of the space. Initially there was space wide for Scotland to attack on that short side, but it closed. And then again, because it's the backfield defenders coming up to close that space, Hastings was able to find the ball with Chip. He then tries to keep the ball in play. He did get his left boot to it as he was airborne. But
Okay, line out then. Who's in?
touch.
Great
Okay,
shot
we'll
at
give
the
you
end
time.
there.
There's 5 in, 5 in. What's back on?
Ostrikov wins the line-out. Scotland may have turned this over. They certainly have the put in at the scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Scott Cummins, I think. I think it was it Scott Cummins, the Blues camp cap, or perhaps now even Xander Fagerson. The third turnover they managed to force, and they read the line-out move really quite well, and then I think it was Cummins got himself in between the ball carrier and the rest of the Russian pack and wrestled the ball free. There he is, there's the Blues camp cap, his left arm in, and he's ripped the ball free.
Okay.
It has a good turnover from the second row.
Just looking at the body language of the Russians, the big guys up front really have put in a shift in this first half, and it looks like they're really suffering for it. Quite tired. That's the second knee they've taken in the last 3 or 4 minutes, getting those vital lungs full of air, but it's going to be a really, really difficult task to come out in the second half and try and maintain their performance in defence that they've had in the first half.
Just to the left. Watch on, please.
And this is an attacking opportunity for
Okay.
Scotland if they can get a sable stem again. Just before half-time, 3 tries already to the good.
Same
And
height,
you can see
same
the back line. That's
Both
a great this
shoulders,
time in
one.
behind
Thank you.
Adam Hastings. And full width.
Crouch.
Tommy Seymour at top of your screens, almost creeping into that 5-metre channel. And the aim of that is to try and increase the spaces between the Russian defenders, so your options of where to attack are clear.
Might we see the diagonal kick at some stage? Ryan Wilson
Ball gone.
scoops it up. Darcy Graham comes close to the scrimmage. The big forwards take it on. Then Pete Horn. Might be coming Tommy Seymour's way.
Illegal.
Gordon Reid, for the moment, keeps it heavyweight. Change of direction. Taken up by Magnus Bradbury. John Barkley.
Off feet now. Now let go. Yet.
Scotland tight around the ball. Bradbury again.
Tackle. Don't go in there. Good work. Good work.
Barkley. Still not a lot of width outside Pete Horn, but it's a good position in front of the post. Hastings, Duncan Taylor bursts through in a gap. Ryan Wilson tries to find another one.
Don't get touching now. Oh.
There are the Russian
Make sure
posts,
we're
the
onside.
try line. If it's crossed, Scotland have the bonus points they need. We're into overtime.
That's it. Take a
Can
step.
Scotland
Don't dummy.
secure the bonus point from this move?
No dummies.
Almost over the line.
Hands away,
Bradbury again.
Hands away.
He's got it back to George Horn. Russia's defence is good. Lost forward. Wayne Barnes blows his whistle for the end of the first half. Russia tired. They've been facing a whole series of Scottish attacks. George Horn, try scorer for the Scots. Adam Hastings with 2. 3 tries scored. Scotland lead at half-time by 21 points to 0. Three-quarters of the job done.
Yeah, and Russia looked hard, don't they? They've had to make a lot of tackles and have to cover a lot of the ground with a kicking game, with Scotland applying pressure constantly. Scotland will look to be a little bit more direct, I think, at the start of the second half in order to force the positions a little bit out wide for Scotland to attack.
It's lovely and warm here in Shizuoka. Rugby under a clear blue sky that is now darkening towards evening.
We'll have a look at the key stats here. And, well, handling error 7 for Russia, 5 for Scotland. Russia's discipline's been good. They've only conceded 1 penalty, but they've been under so much pressure in terms of territory and possession. They've also missed 19 tackles. They've missed on average 38 tackles in the tournament so far. That's too many. They've won 5 turnovers, but Scotland have made 320 metres. That's because they're attacking space in the wider channels. There's Scotland in control of possession and territory, and obviously in the scoreboard at 21 points to 0.
The pressure on Scotland in their 3rd game at the World Cup to win and score 4 tries for the bonus point. It must be a 5-point game for the Scots, and that generates a certain tension. But that tension can be eased with a try early on. Adam Hastings ghosting through the gap.
Yeah, it was a frantic opening 20 minutes, and Scotland got the first try after 14 minutes. Great set-piece scrum, really solid. George Horn with a lovely tight pass to Adam Hastings, who took on the sliding defence. Movement off the ball, and Hastings got his first of the afternoon.
Adam Hastings scored. Adam Hastings converted. Davidoff on the right wing for Russia, spilling the ball. A lot of ball came the way of the Russian right wing, and Adam Hastings spotted that he wasn't at home, led the charge. Poor old Vasily Artemyev slipped. Adam Hastings, his 2nd try.
Yeah, this was a long phase of play, end to end. Davidoff lost it in the challenge, and then Hastings just scanned, found the space in behind, and there was a foot race between him and Gajev. The number 10 won it, hacked on further. Artemyev noticed the danger, flew across to mop up the ball, missed it, unfortunately for Artemyev, and Hastings gets his 2nd.
Russia with a line out on their own line, and beautifully read by George Horn.
It's one about analysis, that, and the sharp thinking of the number 9 there. Goes intercept the pass. It's a long pass from the front of the line out, and one number 9 picks off the other number 9, and Horn scores.
The upshot is that Scotland lead at half-time by 21 points to 0.
Okay. Well, this is Vladimir Ostrushko, winning his 50th cap. He's a constant threat with ball in hand, an outstanding sevens player, but he's been well marshalled by the Scottish defence so far. Got away from Duncan Taylor that time. You can see how strong he is with his ball carrying capabilities. Great tackle early on from a set-piece move from Scotland and Darcy Gray, forcing a turnover as well. Unfortunately, had to leave the field for a head injury assessment. But when he was on the field, he's been that threat and fully deserved his 50th cap. Duncan Taylor's made some fantastic decisions in defence, physical in the tackle, but his been really evident at how sharp his decision-making is in terms of who to tackle, when to shut the gate, when to come up, and obviously has the power to follow through as well. Davidoff that time getting collared by the number 13. That was a shot line close to the Russian goal line that almost took him through. No threat there. There's a meters made, equal, carries equal. 7 tackles for Duncan Taylor. Doesn't tell the whole story. The decision making before those tackles has been the important thing for the Scottish number 13.
Russia, Lynn Jones in the blazer there, their coach spelling it out. This is your last 40 minutes at the World Cup. It's the rugby experience of your lives. Don't leave it with something left behind. Leave nothing behind.
Yeah, I think physically they're exhausted as well. The Russians have not had a lot of possession in that first half, and when they have had possession, it's looked good to a point, and then an error's come either with a pass along the floor or a turnover at the breakdown. Whereas Scotland, you can see the energy completely different in there, much fresher, haven't played for 9 days, much fresher. Obviously 3 tries to the good, and they'll be looking to continue. I think they'll need to sit at the end of the first half. They'll probably need to be a bit more direct in terms of getting a quality possession in order to attack off. They got a little bit lateral towards in the first half, but they've laid a good platform.
Хорошо, жду.
Shizuoka Stadium welcomes back the 2 teams for the second half. This will be Russia's last half at the World Cup. They've played 3. This is their 4th pool game. Pool A. They've lost 3. They're down at half-time here. But one thing is sure, they will keep running right to the very end. Scotland played 2, 1-1. They need to win this with a bonus point. They're off
Scores.
to a good start.
Sorry, I didn't say the score's the same. 21-0 was the same as the Russian score against Ireland. They went on to win 34-0. The Russians really made a fist of it in the second half, and expect the same here.
Blair Kinghorn has the ball in his hands. Adam Hastings with 16 points to his name.
Okay, time you run, please.
Is standing behind the fullback. The second half of Scotland against Russia. Blair Kinghorn. If that goes, it doesn't go 10. So perhaps he should have let Adam Hastings do it.
Yeah, just trying to retain possession or win back possession from the kickoff. Just kicking a short kick. You're looking for that just across the 10-metre line only and no more. Yeah, didn't carry enough distance. It's played by Scotland, so it's come to Russia.
First half, perfect.
It's always a bit untidy when you
First half, really good.
have
Okay. Nice and slow, nice and slow, nice.
the words in the changing room, and then you go out, and the first thing you try goes wrong. Rob, any news on the injury to Ostroushko?
Yeah, he's back in with a real vengeance. He's going to be looking to take his team forward as he always does. He's back on a looking shot.
Set.
Berov feeds the scrum. Solid for Russia. Dyson. Artemyev up from fullback. big Evgeny Elgin from the second row. Stanislav Selski, the hooker, feeds on, and well, that's well played. Russia to get into the Scottish 22.
Yeah, good play by guys, and well judged kick in behind as an obvious set-piece move from the scrum. Artemiev was set down, scampered in the left-hand channel. He was well tackled eventually when the ball came back. Russia were a little bit short in numbers. Geisen managed to put the ball in behind Adam Hastings in that bottom corner and get a good kick to territory.
Ben Toulis wins the line out. George Turner at the back of that scrum, and this is going to make a lot of ground for the Scottish. They're outside their 22 now, and George Horn tries to put that little dink kick in. Hasn't gone that far, but it bounces. The bounce was one of the features of the first half. Darcy Graham dragged out of play.
Yeah, poor kick that time from George Horn. He knew it, and he slapped his hands in disgrace, but sometimes difficult when Scotland caught that ball. They were deep in their own 22, so the plan may have been to kick the ball out, but as there was so much momentum, it probably changed his own mind then to kick high, to contest, and he just cut across it a little bit. Just Darcy Graham hoovered it up. The Russians did well to drag him into touch, and then he'll get the throw at the line out.
Selski throws, finds Ostrikov. Selski comes away with it, but that's Selski. Yeah, his expression of displeasure.
Yeah, the throw was fine, the catch was fine, but when they brought the ball down there, Ostrikov just bumped it off Morozov's shoulder, and the ball was lost. It's knocked forward. Not under a huge amount of pressure there, the Russians. That'll frustrate them.
Same patience. Nice and slow. Crouch. Bind. Set. Wait for the ball.
Scotland.
Yes, please, use it.
Rock solid. Wilson to Horn. To Darcy Graham. Perroff made the tackle. Scotland still in possession. Scott Cummings. That's another mistake. Can Russia turn it into something more promising? Gerasimov regathered. Darcy Graham. Advantage over. Chance for Scotland to counter through their flying winger, Darcy Graham. One of the great sights of European rugby. This must be the bonus point try. Handed on to George Horn. Scotland's fourth try. Scotland's bonus point. Scotland's passage into the last eight.
Well, it's a fantastic counter-attack try, wasn't it? And Darcy Graham, so often he lights up the field. It's George Horn who eventually runs that support line and gets a channel, but this is all about Darcy Graham. He looks up and he sees three forwards ahead of him. He scans, he thinks about kicking, he says, no, I'm going to take this on. He gets inside, got on safe, and then he just keeps the pace on. He goes past Geisen, and it's exactly the right thing as Davidoff's the last defender. He uses his support, and George Horn gets his second, and Scotland's fourth, and it's a bonus point try.
The wonderful sight of a small player in full flight. Wonderful balance, and yet the vision and the patience to give the pass. Second try for George Horn.
Well, it was an outstanding counter-attack, wasn't it? And that's a threat when you kick to someone as electric as Darcy Graham. Without a proper kick chase, it can rip your defence to pieces. Excellent counter-attack, excellent score from Scotland.
Two tries to Adam Hastings, two to George Horn. How many conversions for Hastings? 4 out of 4. 18 points for Scotland's outside half.
It's worth another look at this, isn't it? Darcy Graham stepping off the left and just accelerating through the space, eyeing up the next defender and timing the pass beautifully.
Oh, and he wouldn't have even been stopped if that was touch rugby. Such was his ability to beat players in space. Darcy Graham making a huge name for himself on the greatest stage of rugby.
And Darcy Graham also coming off the field. He's off already. So Scotland can afford to make changes.
Yeah, it looks like George Horn's gone up the wing. Henry Pyrgos is in the scrum half.
Pyrgos waits. That's him. Hands on the ball now.
Sorry.
Hastings drills it across field. Well read. Geisen.
No, you don't go back. Back you go. No, it's back. It's out.
Bentoulis. Pyrgos to Hastings.
Forwards, wait. Yep.
That's found space inside his 22.
Check out the chips, Benny.
Ramiel
Well,
Geisen.
good pressure.
It's good clearance from a tight angle.
12.
Yeah, it's a good kick, isn't it, from Geisen, but a good decision again from Adam Hastings. Scotland looking to play, but he's almost just doing the right thing there. They were a little bit short on numbers, and then decided to kick it long, forcing Geisen to put it out. There's Darcy Graham alongside WPNL. It's a rest for that reward. His reward is a rest for that sparkling run.
Peter Horn. Oof. Ramiel Geisen bounced off him. Quick hands. Hastings always seems to have a little bit of extra time. Adam Hastings.
Chest and ball. Chest and ball.
He starts moving forward quickly.
Trying to pick it up.
John Barkley, and
Just
Russia just starting to fall off a few tackles. Hastings again. Sorry, Magnus Bradbury.
Advantage over from the
This is
knock-on.
Hastings. Slings it out to Scott Cummings. Duncan Taylor this time to Tommy Seymour.
Don't go in there, wait.
That's Russia's 22-metre line. They're going to give it width. Ryan Wilson takes contact.
Rucked it backwards, didn't kick it.
Henry
No,
Pyrgos
5, second man,
clears it
second
up.
man.
Russia have to
Thank
be
you.
careful. Coming to Hastings. Eventually, Peter Horn. Free Seymour. The drive on by another replacement. Oh, Scotland get away with, well, it was a very tidy pass, and here's George Horn looking for a hat-trick. The scrum half now on the wing.
Still in.
Because Henry Pyrgos has replaced him. Magnus Bradbury
Tackle, off
takes
seven.
it on. A little deeper. Bentoulis waits. Hastings again.
Off the ball now, you're off your feet. Good.
Pyrgos to Wilson to Barkley. Pyrgos to Kinghorn. Kinghorn, Tommy Seymour, and it doesn't work.
Well, Scotland just going through the phases, phase after phase. They'll be disappointed with how that one ended.
Russia.
The ball from Pyrgos skips off the turf, but then initially Blair Kinghorn does really well to get on the outside of the defender, but then it's a loose pass into field. Russia have to contest harder at the breakdown. Scotland are getting the possession as much as they want, as quick as they want. The initial tackle has to be better from Russia, and the second man in must try and slow possession down.
Okay, keep going there. 4 in.
The ball has been in play a long time in this game. Russia won't be used to having a game so fractured and broken up and on the field. Everybody start to blow a bit in a red shirt.
Yeah, they've had to cover a lot of ground, make a lot of tackles.
Listen, hold there, hold there.
They've had 1 or 2 breaks themselves, but have been
They said 6.
started in a reasonable fashion, but then ended with a silly error, knock on, lost possession, a poor pass. So they can take some heart into their initial strikes, but they've just got to be a bit more accurate and settle at the moment, slow Scotland's possession down.
Ryan Wilson sets it up.
White, don't break away, stay on the same wall, same man in there.
And they reset and start all over again. George Turner is going to score. 5 tries for Scotland, and a weary Russia walk back under the posts. Scotland are now cruising towards the well, they're not cruising towards the quarterfinals. They're cruising towards the showdown with Japan.
Yeah, good discipline in the maul, forcing the kick from Russia to go out. Then from the maul, they just kept themselves together. It was a long maul. It took a long time for the momentum to fully build, and when it did build, they got in behind Russia, and then George Turner, the awareness that when he did break off the maul, it was break towards space, spun towards the try line, and a big smile to celebrate Scotland's 5th try.
He's heard the calling for bringing back the spin, Chris. Outstanding work, beat 3 players from the back of the maul. He's going to be a happy man looking on. You get forwards, jumping around at that. The bench loved every single second. They were up in arms for the fantastic effort.
Adam Hastings. 5 out of 5 from the tee.
Yeah, this is a maul going forward. Once it goes forward, there was in a penalty advantage as well as Russia pulled it down, but George Turner having the awareness to control the ball, be at the back of the maul, and then know where the space is and accelerate into it. Excellent play from the hooker.
Scotland happy, what a difference. Day 1 at Scotland's World Cup, they were on the receiving end, up front against Ireland. Everything seemed in doubt, but they have recovered well. The job is not yet done. They've got their momentum back, they've got their mojo back, but everything still hinges on the game against Japan on Sunday in Yokohama. All you can do is rebuild, rediscover your form. And Scotland look, Chris, to be in a good place.
They do. Obviously, there may be changes. I assume there'll be changes between now and Sunday, as Lynn Jones looks on frustrated there for Russia. They actually won the kick-off back there and then looked to be threatening before the knock-on. Yeah, Scotland have to really target this and keep playing. There's no point in stopping playing. Keep playing. And for individuals, they can maybe try and force a way into the thinking for the weekend. For Sunday's game, there's a knock-on there from Gadjev. After some initial good work, especially from the kick-off as well, played back by
Keep the discipline, keep the height. Good height, keep high. Crouch.
22 for Scotland. Henry Purgos.
Bind.
Has a word with Pete Horn, who's standing behind him. It's a very attacking formation. Scotland inside their 22. They look poised to go from here. Switch of play. Adam Hastings. He does put a boot to it, but it's an attacking boot. Keeping the ball on the field of play. Antonio chases himself. Kinghorn. It's a good pass to Gordon Reid. And now we come through the backs. Magnus Bradbury, he's been involved as a ball carrier. George Horn, handy having a winger who is a scrum half. Duncan Taylor, one of those top spin kicks. Artemyev. It's a very good kick by Duncan Taylor. Artemyev, that's a very good kick by the fullback. Quickly kept in play. Adam Hastings from Kinghorn. Hastings starting to go through the gaps, which promptly shut on him.
Not now, not now. Originally legal. Okay, just be careful.
Scott Cummings waits, is missed. Ryan Wilson, Kinghorn, another boot. Tommy Seymour, one wing involved already. Seymour, that's a fine finish by Tommy Seymour. Darcy Graham on the left had his moments. Tommy Seymour on the right has his now.
It's a big moment for Tommy Seymour, isn't it? Not seen a huge amount of possession, but it's a wonder finish from a man who just loves scoring tries. I think that's his 20th try for Scotland, and it came after 3 kicks from Scotland. The kicking game has been on point. This is the last of those 3 kicks. Blair Kinghorn putting it through. Tommy Seymour is clearly outside. He does this wonderfully well to finish, doesn't he? To get himself up in the air, gather the ball and dot it down before the line.
A wonderful end-over-end kick as well, because this was heading for the touchline, but it holds its line.
Yeah, it just pops up here, doesn't it? Eyes on the ball for Tommy Seymour. Wishing and hoping that it's just going to sit up nicely. It does. 2 hands on, clear grounding. Good score.
Good shots as well. The diving Tommy Seymour at the end.
It was 3 kicks, wasn't it? It was a long kick from Hastings, and then it was a second kick into the corner from Duncan Taylor, and then from the quick line out after Artemiev's clearance, it was a 3rd kick came from Kinghorn for Seymour to score. Good game management, good execution.
Adam Hastings from wide out. Doesn't look like missing yet. Doesn't look like missing at all. Strike up the bagpipes.
The crowd getting in really good voice, and rightly so. That was a really intelligent kick. Royal approval from the box. Wonderful space, great vision. It was actually a 4-on-2, but the space in behind perfectly executed. Kinghorn put a perfect amount of weight on it, and now it's very looking ominous for the Russians.
Adam Hastings, personal tally over 22 points for the outside half. 2 tries, 6 conversions. It's going to bounce.
Backwards.
Went backwards from
Keep playing,
Vladislav Sozonov.
backwards. And a
Scott
tackle,
Cummings
away
with
you
the
go.
tackle. Keep coming, Russia, but they're living on very limited possession. Dmitry Perov. To big Andrei Ostrikov. Ramil Gaisin. It's the highest of the day.
Good contact, but a knock on.
George Horn comes away with it. Good pass
Ah,
out to
good
Brother
job.
Peter. Could be another one for Scotland. The run-in for George Horn. Hat-trick for the scrum half, who is now on the wing.
Well, it's another full length, isn't it? Russia were in good control, but they lost numbers, and then they had to go to the kicking game. It was initially dealt with reasonably well by Hastings, and then George Horn, a wonderful pass there to his older brother Peter, who accelerates up the left wing. And then look at George Horn working really hard to stay with Henry Pyrgos. Henry Pyrgos this time delivers a scoring pass, and Horn, after being involved at the very start, has the pace to get outside and away from Artemiev and score his hat-trick try in the corner.
One scrum half to another. Henry Pyrgos to George Horn. 3 tries for the little one. Big dive.
It's so difficult for Russia because there were numbers down there because they committed so many to the breakdown, and then when they did get the ball, the Scottish defence is organised, it's coming up. They run the risk of keeping the ball in hand, you're being turnover. So Guyson went to the air, and then because Scotland have got their line set up, they've got their backfield covered, it's attacking ball for them to come onto, and the kick chase wasn't there, and enough numbers or enough discipline from Russia. Scotland have the quality to execute it, pick them off and get their 7th try of the evening.
A lot of points to his name, Adam Hastings. His try scorers are doing their best to make his kicking difficult. Another one from wide out, and at long last he misses one.
Support play is so important, isn't it? And they're working hard. Artemiev chases all the way, but because Henry Pyrgos has the option for George Horn, who was, I keep saying at the start of that, and he's just reminding his teammates how many tries he's scored so far.
15 points for George Horn, 22 for Adam Hastings. Other tries: Hooker, George Turner, Tommy Seymour.
They're still waiting.
7 tries. Weary Russians leave the field.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Well, Vasily Artemyev comes on. Stanislav Selski is off too. Ryan Wilson takes the catch, tackled by one of the new players, Bogdan Fedotko.
Taken back in. Don't kick it straight out. Taken back. And use.
Pyrgos. That's still in play. Scotland can't recoup it through Simon Bergen.
Back on blue. 1 second, please.
Just going to check those.
Okay, blue ball there. Sorry, I thought it was red ball. It's actually blue ball. You can take a scrum or a line out. Knocked off red. Take a scrum. Sorry, scrum or line out you can take. Line out taken. Blue ball.
Just an option. Scrum or line out.
Just a line out.
It's not going into touch, I think.
Taking a line out. Who's in, fellas?
Well, it's really pleasing to see just whereabouts Scotland are breaking the line from. Everything's coming from deep. It's really good play. Big forward set of the platform. The back's really attacking it. They're looking strong, looking composed, and it makes for a great case for next game up against Japan.
Right. Gilchrist is on in the second row for Scotland, and this has done damage. This driving maul.
On the side. On men to floor. There's no red players on the floor.
WP Nell is on. And a little trundle there after the maul. Peter Horn. George coming off the wing. His little brother. Henry Pyrgos. Gilchrist. Inside pass. George Turner is all right. Good Russian tackling. Simon Bergen taken low. Felled. Scotland still in possession. Trying to work them down. Oh, Duncan Taylor lost his footing. We'll be looking to see if the centre gets up okay. He does. Hastings, brilliant pass. WP now on the charge, and that's an excellent offload. Pyrgos again, the support runner. He does get up there, Henry Pyrgos, quickly. Chance now, Gilchrist. Bradbury. 4 tries for George Horn.
Well, that's another 8-10 try, isn't it? I just wonder if Wayne Barnes wanted to check that final pass. I don't think it has. George Horn's got a big smile on his face. That's his 4th try. 2 from scrum half, 2 from that left wing position.
Okay, lots of subs with
and it's just so many opportunities for Scotland now as Russia rule the Royal. Hastings takes it to the lines, gets it off one. This is a break for the evening so far. Big WP Nell thundering through the gap. I thought he could almost make it, but he decides to overhead pass to the supporting Henry Pyrgos once again. And then as the ball is quickly recycled, it's fixing, it's passing. Grant Gilchrist does the right thing. Magnus Bradbury squares up. That's a pass to George Horn, and he walks over for his 4th.
Yes, we all need water and a breather.
Just one sec, please. What do you want to check next, sorry?
Oh, they are going to check something. TMO tonight, Marius Jonker of South Africa.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, it's that forward pass, Chris.
Okay, Barnsley, we're coming to you now.
Okay, thank you very much. So you're going to say this is out of the hands and forward, yeah? Okay, so you're saying that's out of the hands forward, Maris?
Yeah, Barnsley, I'm going to show to you once more. And
okay, out of the hands forward. We've got a forward pass.
Here we go, Barnsley, here we go.
It's out of the hands and forward.
Yeah.
We've got the line to help us as well.
I think it is going to be a forward pass.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
No try.
George Horn, he's stuck on 3 tries.
Only 3 so far. Yeah, and the sneaking suspicion at the time. There's 2 more substitutes come on. Stuart McInally, Chris Harris coming on for Scotland. There's so many changes on both sides now. Sneaking suspicion, it probably did just travel forward. What was the momentum? I don't know, but you hear Wayne Barron saying
number 6.
You could see the line. And there's George Horn now getting his rest. 3 tries and a hat-trick.
Forward pass. Scrum.
Not quite the same feeling going off with only a hat-trick to your name. Could be 4, George. Blame Magnus Bradbury. You've got to just touch and go, isn't it? Because you sort of think that the hands are pointing backwards.
Yeah, wasn't matching that one at
Watch
all.
on. Okay, just listen, lots of new people, really slow, really high. Slowly. Crouch. Oh, sorry. Watch up, fellas. Doctor's just asked me.
Just waiting here.
Is he gone?
I think it's Ramil Gaisin who's going off. On comes number 21, Sergei Yanushkin.
Well, Yanushkin's a scrum half by trade, so Russia are going to have to reject the back line.
Okay, scrum.
We'll pair off.
Nice and slow.
Go out to number 10, perhaps.
Back on, please.
So, Yanushkin, I think maybe just going to stop straight into the number 10 position.
There's sort of 3 main areas that Russia harvest for their rugby players. There's Siberia, Krasnoyarsk.
Bind.
Way down south, Krasnodar, Moscow, and then there's Yanushkin from Lokomotiv Penza, which is about 400 miles southeast of Moscow. Again, the huge distances of Russia. Trying to go long distance for the try as well. Good breakout. Still going.
No tackle.
They won't give up. They're trailing by 47 points to 0, but they'll go all the way. Andrei Ostrikov.
Still in. No, back you go. Just about go. And now use it, please, Nine.
They're off. Well, Wayne Barnes gave him time, and the kicks worked out well. Chris Harris couldn't take it. Russia back in possession. Perov to one of the new players. It's Podrezov. Another one, Sergei Chernyshiev.
Back man.
Gurdjieff out into the 3/4. Here's the break. The surge by Gerasimov. Yanushkin takes it on. Perov. Quick hands from Fedotko. Ostrikov. Here's the veteran player, Vladimir Kushnarev. Out to Gurdjieff, who makes ground
He's around the board.
to Scotland's 10-metre line and earns a penalty.
Nice and easy, you've got the penalty.
Yeah. Well, Russia had to work hard for that, didn't it? 2 or 3 attacks straight over the top of the ball.
Number 8 around the ball.
Busting through the direct route close to the source, and then they moved it wide. Really, really hard work, and credit to them for that's 55 metres they've made through hard work. They get the reward of the penalty, and they can now throw it in the line out.
Wearily. This is Tagir Gurdjieff. He's had a wonderful tournament. But after this, I mean, he wins the penalty. But how wearily he got back to his feet. They'll probably throw the ball to him in the line out now.
Well, they're certainly taking the time getting to the line as well, Russia. Good experience for them being exposed to this. Having to work hard when you're fatigued, obviously 4 games, a 4th game. But they're still at it, and they're wonderful well there to fight from their own line up to Scotland's, 10 metres from Scotland's line.
Sergei Chernyshiev to throw. Wearily. Gurdjieff tried to get it, but
yes, he is holding
straight
on, but that throws too far over here. Okay, it is holding on, but we come back, not straight. Take a scrum or a line next.
Yeah. Squint feed. It was Gurdjieff, I think, was the eventual target.
Yeah, you were fine, but not straight first of all. Okay.
The scrum, the line that wasn't straight. So Scotland now have a chance to clear the lines or maybe launch another attack from deep.
Andre, replacement.
Andrei Ostrikov comes off.
Watch it still on.
Number 20 comes on, Andrei Garbuzov.
Yeah, that's not straight in the line.
Becomes the third most cap player. Garbuzov, 98 cap for Russia. And they can use all that experience here and try and squeeze some more energy out of those around about him.
Andrei Ostrikov heads to the bench.
Nice and slowly. Just come a little bit higher. That's good. Just a little higher.
Meanwhile,
Crowd.
the new look pack prepares to pack down.
Bind.
Space on that short side for Scotland. Davidoff, the right winger for Russia, sitting way back at halfway.
He is.
It's advantage.
But Chris Harris has come in field. It's a penalty advantage. Scotland come to the open side. The looping moves. Hastings to Kinghorn. Checks. Goes again. Tackled by Gerasimov. John Barkley out to Adam Hastings. Oh, knock on. Stuart McInally. But we're back to the penalty.
It's a penalty at the scrum, wasn't it? You see the weary pack under too much pressure from Russia. Scotland win the penalty. Chance at arm to throw an attacking move. And then when they did create the space, Stuart McInally couldn't hold the ball, so he come back for the penalty. Scrum being collapsed by the Russians. And Scotland start to look weary as well, trying to get their breath back, look for a big kick upfield and then launch yet another attack.
We started in bright sunshine. It's dark overhead now. Gregor Townsend. It's been a good day. He made so many changes, which always carries a certain risk. Lynn Jones.
The other notable thing for Scotland is they've not conceded a try since the game against Ireland in the opening game. 34 points to nil was a victory against Samoa. If they can hold out here without conceding a try to Russia, that's pretty impressive in international rugby.
Hold on.
After a poor start.
Don't run it.
To have 2 clean sheets, to use a better phrase. Matt Taylor, defence coach, will be happy with that.
Ben Toulis wins ball. John Barkley comes away with it. Magnus Bradbury makes contact. Ryan Wilson makes a yard beyond the tackle. McInally. Gilchrist to Adam Hastings. Ooh, spins over the challenge of Podridzov. Duncan Taylor tried to flick it to Chris Harris.
No, I just think you ran into each other.
It doesn't work.
Here we go.
In touch. Can be red ball. Maris, what have we got? Is it a shoulder charge on 10?
Yeah.
Shoulder charge on 10. You got the number, mate?
17 win, I think.
Bithier.
70. Calm down, Lucas.
That's the head ready.
Nice and calm.
Yeah, it was a tired effort, wasn't it? Bithier kind of colliding and almost, I think he bought the dummy almost from Adam Hastings, and then just collided or run into each other. Shoulder charge. There was no attempt at an arm wrap at all. It wasn't him. That's pair off the 9. There's a dummy there, and then oh no, it's actually worse looking at that than I thought it was. He has gone to shoulder charge himself. Not great from the prop. You've got to get your arms out to make a tackle.
Most of the Russian forwards can claim exhaustion. But Azamat Bitiev is not long on. Scotland have to be careful now.
Okay, on your front,
7.5 minutes to go, and they're in sort of relaxed mode. And you just wonder, Chris, you might just pick up an injury if you get a bit too casual out there.
Yeah, they have to stick to their discipline. There's an excellent kick from Kinghorn. We'll look for a good execution this line out. Whether we'll see a drive or something more intricate, I'm not sure.
Well, Gilchrist caught crooked.
Yeah, that's not great. When you say stick to your systems and be accurate, that's not what that was, unfortunately, for Stuart McInally. You've got to keep the tempo high. You've got to keep being ruthless in that situation.
Let's get the scrum slow and high. High.
That's what started for Scotland. And the changes there. The first one was Fraser Brown after 30 minutes, and Magnus Bradbury came on. And then
Crouch.
Harris, Pyrgos, the two backs are on. Gilchrist, Bergen, McInally and L.
Just Jamie Ritchie left on the bench.
That could be tactical as well. He's
Set.
more than likely going to be involved, I would imagine, at the weekend. It's a fantastic year, Jamie Ritchie,
Okay,
in terms
start
of his
music. Stay
performances.
close.
Well, from own 22 through Yuri Kushnarev, their most experienced player. And now through left-wing Vladislav Sozonov. Russia are in the Scottish half. Still got plenty of running. Bogdan Fedotko takes it on. Kushnarev, well fielded by Chris Harris. Kinghorn back to Harris. Gadjev sets off in pursuit. Oh, it's excellent work by the Russian number 7. And he gets back to his feet to contest for the ball. Toulis for Scotland. Hastings. Oh, John Barclay is in the clear. Duncan Taylor with him. Barclay sells a little dummy. John Barclay, the veteran. And look how tired he is, but delighted at the same time.
Yeah, Barclay gets on the score sheet. John Barclay finishing off from 25 metres of show and goal. And again, it's just incessant pressure from Scotland. The Russians are absolutely out on their feet. And as the ball comes out, a wide pass here, and then a short tip-on pass from Simon Bergen. And the timing onto the ball is excellent from John Barclay. And then he's got the awareness just to show the ball to the right-hand side and throw the dummy to Davidoff. That's the line there, the killer pass from Bergen through the gap. There's the dummy from John Barclay, and he scores under the posts.
Davidoff, the last defender, faced with blue shirts, left and right. Adam Hastings. Well, he missed with his last conversion. Just a slight blemish on his record, but well, Chris, here he is. Is he among your candidates for player of the match?
He is. He certainly is. We'll have a look at Adam Hastings. He lines up this kick. An excellent start to the game. Obviously, George Horn as well. A wonderful hat-trick. There's one or two options, certainly, as Hastings chips over. There's a tip-on pass there from Simon Bergen. And John Barclay had to hold his line, had to slow down a little bit to ensure he wasn't in front, and then pick up the accelerations again, take through the space, show the dummy, and dive under the post.
Okay, are you ready to announce it?
Well, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, George Horn has been absolutely outstanding. He scored 3 tries, a hat-trick, so close to a 4th, but the MasterCard player of the match for me today is the number 10, Adam Hastings. Scored 2 tries, he scored 24 points, but it's his kicking game and his control and the guiding possession and guiding the team around the field, especially in the first half, that's a determining factor.
Henry Pyrgos just takes it away from Adam Hastings for the moment. Magnus Bradbury drives out of the 22.
Yes.
Stuart McInally goes a little further.
And use it.
Henry Pyrgos. Now Hastings has it. Duncan Taylor. Out to Blair Kinghorn. Kinghorn finds Taylor. Taylor to Peter Horn. Back to Taylor. Hastings, long. Stuart McInally on the outside. Surge for the corner. And Scotland's captain not on the day, but of the squad, is over. Wayne Barnes is going to check. Try number 9 for Scotland, Stuart McInally, the scorer.
Another long-range one, isn't it? This is where it started. Blair Kinghorn, constant threat, gets offload away as well, which means the ball is always quick. Duncan Taylor had 2 or 3 involvements, as did Peter Horn. That's a long pass there from Adam Hastings, sensing where the space is. Stuart McInally just holds his width, has to deal with a bubbling ball, and then gets his acceleration, gets his eyes on the line. Determination, drives through the tackle, just gets it down.
79 dead on.
We think in the corner, and it's Scotland's 8th try.
Stuart McInally. Well, good surge of pace. Flirted with the touchline.
Just hold it a second, please, Adam. To just check, making sure that that toe's not in the.
Well, there's a toe hit the line.
That flirtation is worth checking.
Was it the defender's toe? Or was it Stuart McInnes? We'll have a closer look. Wayne Barnes wants to double check. Manesh Junker, the TMO. Hastings is going to have a stretch. Take it easy, Adam.
Thank you, after you, mate. Sorry. Watch back on, please.
Okay, we've checked. Clock is running again. 1.5 minutes to go.
Good
Adam
work.
Hastings can line up conversion number 9. $26 points for Adam Hastings. This is Blair Kinghorn in full flight.
Yeah, such a threat, wasn't it? But instead of dying with possession and being tackled, having to recycle, it keeps the ball alive, gets that wonder how offload out the right hand. And there, Stuart McInally is at the end of it. A valiant effort from Gerasimov, but it's his toe that hit the line. Stuart McInally's try stands.
We're into the last minute. Here goes Hastings again. Fell over. Away comes Sozanov. Replacement. Boots off.
And away.
Bityov. Janishev. It would be great to see Gadjev finishing off with something dramatic.
Backwards play on, not
powerful.
clearly forwards.
He's had a fabulous tournament, the Russian number 7.
Advantage.
It's gone forward. That will be the end of play, unless Scotland through Tommy Seymour can score again. Oh, it's going to be Adam Hastings. 26 points becomes 31. If the try stands, they might just check a pass.
Well, Adam Hastings is celebrating. Ostrikov, the Russian, on the bench is devastated. They've given it all. They've got the Russians, but they've just been picked off by the superior fitness, quality of the men in blue. Adam Hastings finishing off this time. Tommy Seymour set off the right flank in the dying seconds. His ball back inside. Does it go forward? We're going to have a check.
We are checking.
Put it up on the screen, please, mate. Show me a forward pass, aren't you? Out of the hands to 10, yeah.
Wayne Barnes.
Tommy Seymour, now here this will...
Out of the hands, forward, through, quite a long way behind the line, caught in front of it. Clear forward pass.
Yes.
That's correct.
Another forward pass. Adam Hastings denied. His personal tally stays in the 20s at 26. The game is over. Adam Hastings has steered Scotland to a very comfortable victory. The important things, the win, the bonus point, it sets up one of the games of the World Cup and will still be only in the pool stages. Scotland or Japan or Ireland to emerge as the two in Pool A to progress. Scotland have beaten Russia by 61 points to 0.
Well, Scotland knew what they had to do. They had to be accurate, they had to win. They had to win with a bonus point, and they've done that and more. An excellent performance from the men in blue right from the start. A lot of them hadn't played a lot of rugby in this Rugby World Cup, but they looked assured. The Russians worked really, really hard, but they're absolutely exhausted. That's a World Cup over 4 games for them. And then the quality of Scotland's execution and the guidance around the field, the kicking game, the pressure, the execution, put them ahead with 61 points to nil. The nil is very important for Scotland as well. 2 games in a row without conceding a point.